A little brother took his sister by the hand and said, "Ever since our mum died, it's been one thing after another. That stepmother beats us every day, and when we do get near, she's a bit too free with the end of a boot for my liking. We get really poor dinners, and even then only her leftovers. The dog's better off than us. Lord have mercy, if our mother only knew. I say, we go off together into the wide world." So off they went, and they came to a large forest where in the end they were so sad and so tired that they decided to squeeze into a hollow tree and resolved to die from hunger. Then they both fell asleep. When they woke in the morning, the sun was already up and warmed the hollow tree with its rays. "Sister," said the brother after a while, "I'm thirsty. If only there was a spring, I'd go and have a drink right away." "Hey up, I think I can hear one gurgling now." "Oh, what's the point?" the sister answered. "What's the point of drinking when you know you're going to starve anyway?" The brother kept quiet and climbed out of the hollow tree, and since he had always had tight hold of his sister's hand, she had to climb out with him. Now, their evil stepmother was a witch, and when she had noticed that the two children had left, she followed them and caused a clear stream near the tree to trickle from the rocks and form a spring. The gurgling spring was intended to lure the children and make their mouths water. But whoever drank from the spring would be changed into a fawn. The brother soon came to the spring with his sister, and when he saw the glittering water trickle over the stones into the spring, his thirst raged, and he wanted the water fierce bad. However, the sister was fearful. She thought she heard the spring speak to her as it trickled.
"Whoever drinks me shall change into a fawn. Whoever drinks me shall change into a fawn."
So she begged her brother not to drink the water. "I don't hear anything," said the brother. "I just hear that lovely water trickling. Let me go." No sooner said than done. He leaned over and drank, and as soon as he felt the first drop of water on his lips, he was changed into a fawn sitting beside the spring. The sister wept and wept, and then she resisted the urge to say, "I told you so." However, the witch was angry that she hadn't been able to lure the sister to drink the water as well. She was fuming. After 3 days of sadness, the sister stood up, gathered some bulrushes, and wove them into a soft rope. Then she attached it to the fawn and led him with her. She looked for a cave, and when she found one, she carried moss and foliage inside and made a soft bed for him. The next morning, she went out with the fawn to a place with tender grass, and there she gathered the most beautiful grass, which he ate out of her hand. The fawn was delighted and romped about on the hills. In the evening, when the sister was tired, she laid her head on the back of the fawn. It was her pillow, and this is how she fell asleep. If only her brother could have retained his human form, it would have been a wonderful life. For many years they lived like this in the forest. Then one day the king went out on a hunt, and he got lost. He stumbled upon the maiden with the animal in the forest and was amazed by her beauty. He lifted her up onto his horse and took her with him, while the fawn, attached by the rope, ran alongside. At the royal court, the maiden was treated with honour. Beautiful young women had to serve her, but she herself was more beautiful than any of the other ladies. She never let the fawn out of her sight, and she tended him with care. Shortly after her arrival, the Queen Mother died, and the king wed the sister and they lived together in great joy. However, the stepmother had heard about the good fortune of the poor sister. She had thought that the maiden had long since been torn to pieces by wild beasts. But the beasts had never troubled her, and now the maiden was queen of the realm. The spiteful witch was so angry about this that she could think of nothing else but ways she might ruin the queen's happiness. When the queen gave birth to a handsome prince the next year, and the king was out hunting, the witch appeared in the form of a chambermaid and entered the room where the queen was recovering from the birth. "The bath has been prepared for you," she said. "It will do you good and strengthen you. Come, before the water gets too cold." The witch led the queen into the bathroom and locked the door behind her. Inside, there was a brutally hot fire, and the beautiful queen was suffocated to death. Now the witch had a daughter of her own, and she endowed her with the outward shape of the queen, and laid her in bed in place of the queen. In the evening, when the king returned home, he didn't realize that he had a false wife. But in the night, and the nurse saw this, the real queen appeared in the room. She went to the cradle, lifted the child to her breast, and suckled him. Then she plumped up his tiny mattress, laid the baby in the cradle again, and covered him. After this, she went into the corner where the fawn slept, and stroked his back. This was how she came and went every night without saying a word. One time, however, she entered again and said, "How's my child? How's my fawn? Twice more I'll come, and then I'll be gone." Then she did what she had usually done the other nights. Meanwhile, the nurse woke the king and told him secretly what had occurred. So the next night the king kept watch, and he too saw how the queen came, and he clearly heard her words. "How's my child? How's my fawn? Once more I'll come, then I'll be gone." However, he didn't dare to speak to her. The following night he kept watch again, and the queen said, "How's my child? How's my fawn? There's no more time. Soon I'll be gone." The king could no longer restrain himself. He sprang forth and embraced her, and as soon as he touched her, she was restored to life, rosy, red and well. The false queen was led into the forest, where the wild beasts devoured her. The evil stepmother burned at the stake, and as the fire consumed her, the fawn was transformed, and brother and sister were once again together and lived happily until the end of their days.